Bada bing, bada boom. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is where you are. Good that. We're
More even noon, I
mo-
think, is the.
more even noon. Coin that. Coin that one. So yeah, it's Roll for Mischief time. We're going to be joined very shortly by the Dungeon Master Asa. Don't worry about that; he'll be here. But yeah, we're just going to kick in here, roll the intro in just a hot second. Does anyone have any special announcements that they'd like to make?
No, nope.
Okay. Well then, maybe I'll just embarrass Carrie for a second and say, stay tuned for in maybe next week or the week after that. Very soon, Carrie's going to be doing her first adventure, dungeon mastering for Roll for Mischief. We've been shooting around a lot of ideas, helping each other brainstorm some cool things, and I think you're going to see the return of a very beloved character, or at least one of my very beloved characters. Not going to spoil anything, but yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be a great adventure coming up as soon as Asa finishes his episode that we are still going on. So, without further ado, let's roll them credits. Bada bang, bada boom. All right, and guess what? Boom, there's Asa.
There's Asa.
Like I told you, don't even worry about it. He was gonna be like right here. He's right here. We're going to be joined by our special guest Alex soon as well. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. So now we'll go ahead and transition into group therapy, a chance to check in with our characters about current events, see what their emotional state is like as they are heading forward into the next unpredictable events. So I'll go ahead and start with Egner and just say that Egner, as he sometimes is, he's a man on a mission, and partly because he's kind of blind, he can have these like figurative blinders on or whatever. He can just get very like tunnel visioned because he will get this kind of input. Like I talk about how he sees this thread sometimes. Like sometimes he's just drawn to an objective, a thing. It's like he can see this line toward he and that objective. And that happened when they were trying to find Joran in the city of Twin Harbor. He was able to use this divination magic, and it allowed him to have this direction, and he started following this thread, and he was confident that this guy was Joran, even though he was disguised as a regular guard. And as soon as they went up to Joran, some very not very good things happened. Maybe Ellie cut Joran's hand off. I'm not entirely sure because, again, Egner's blind. He wouldn't be able to see it if it actually happened or whatever. But yeah, so he's just got this one track mind. He's trying to find out where Emily is, where Joran took Emily. He was trying to set up this situation where they would just like I don't know, talk to or interrogate Joran, But now that's kind of exploded into something else. So he's just going to try and deal with this situation as best as he can and try and keep Jorn alive so they can actually get the information out of him that they need. We'll see how it goes.
Do you want me to go?
Sure.
I'll go. So yeah, so last session Ellie had a few like quite nice moments with Aigner. There was a bit of a like, you know, she was helping him make his way down to John. I can't say it in an American accent because that's all I've heard it as. And then yeah, things got a little bit, I want to say, out of hand. Trying not to make
But
hunting. So he was posing as a guard or paladin. He's posing as a paladin, I think.
Yeah, he was posing as one of the Azamar paladins that has kind of taken up this side of the city.
Yeah. So we kind of saw that, and I used detect magic, and I could tell that it was this kind of magic. So me and Aigner went right up to his face and then cast a spell magic. It dropped, we attacked him, I cut off his hand. So she's a little bit flustered. I think it's a little bit more brutal than she meant it to be.
Whoops.
Yeah. But you know, it's in hand. I can't not say that.
How unbrutal were you expecting a maiming to be?
Well, the way Ellie fights is she considers where she's going to stab and then stabs. But he moved his hand as she was moving her sword.
Oh,
and
so it's his fault.
it was an accident.
So it's his
Yeah,
fault,
exactly.
right?
All of a sudden, you realize that your DM is actually George Lucas.
Yeah, like, exactly. So, I mean, really. the
Anakin, I have the high ground. Sorry.
I'm not going to
Sorry.
use that line.
Sorry.
mean,
I did it so you don't have to.
yeah.
But yeah, she's just a little bit, I guess, stressed, but she's probably ready to protect Aigner, I guess, in this situation.
Please.
Feels like it's gonna go down. Right, really? Halifax.
Halifax is also there and has thoughts. So Halifax really enjoyed the getting into the city part, but now that we're here, he's starting to see like how a bit less fun and jaunty this adventure is, and so he's getting back into the whole game face side of things. He had a lot of fun and enjoyment getting everyone in and being the other person whose name escapes me now.
Begins with an R.
Regis Alvaron
Regis.
II.
Yes, there we go.
Just Alpha
So yeah, like Halifax was deep in the role, but yeah, now that Ellie's gone and just started straight up maiming people for no good reason whatsoever, there's no justification. No, since Ellie's sort of taken the lead in attacking our enemies, Halifax is ready and willing to jump straight in with the support.
I will say, Aigner attacked first. Ellie waited to see what Aigner did, and then she attacked.
Wait, did he?
Yeah!
Did he?
I
Oh.
was like, are we attacking him? And then you attacked him, so I attacked him too.
Whoops.
Before all the blame gets put on me.
It's cool. It's cool. Blame Agner. It's a common theme in this game. Just go ahead and do it. Just blame Agner.
I do believe the intention was to trip him. But no. There was also someone who went ahead and dispelled his magics.
Well, it is what it is.
It was a group thing, guys. It was a group thing.
We
I
do
wasn't
miss
involved at all, so whatever.
we do miss On's dispel magic.
Yes. Instead, I've got counterspell.
Well,
We should, just as a future thought here, create a magic item that is a crowbar that is called Dispel Magic, that we can then make as a reward for Patreons.
Okay.
A crowbar?
It's a throwback.
Oh, I see.
Oh yes,
We're
I
gonna
remember.
become a crowbar dealership. Come get your crowbars.
I know when you're
Way to-
retired.
Way to make that awkward, dude. Thanks. Thanks a lot for that.
Word.
Look, I just have
Welcome.
ideas.
So
They may not be great.
anyway, what about
Leah?
Leah then?
Or is this group therapy?
Is group therapy for sure.
Okay. Well, she's made a series of interesting decisions. The most recent one being to attempt to confuse everyone so hard they wouldn't remember what happened later. She also definitely feels like she's kind of just trailing along behind whatever everyone else is doing. She doesn't really know why we're rescuing this other person that doesn't seem to be related to her brother's problem, but she also knows that she can't do anything to help him without everyone else's help. And so if this seems important to them, she's going to just do whatever she can to facilitate it until we can get to the real issue, you know. And she's also very much in conflict with herself because she's fighting this. She's spent, you know, at least 100 years or more fighting this ability, this power that she has within herself to influence the emotions of others. And now suddenly it feels like the only way to do anything is to actually just let it loose. And she's also currently still super pissed at certain members of the party for doing something that in the past that she had no control over, that still somehow violates her principles, and she's just real not happy with it. And she was so close to really liking this person and feeling like they had a connection, and maybe she could have a conversation with this person, this unnamed person we're not going to talk about, who's you know, not currently absent from the stream.
Halifax is totally
But she's
innocent.
putting that to the side right now and violating some of her own principles. So, you know, maybe later we'll be on more even ground and she won't have a leg to stand on.
Are we gonna cut
I
off
can
her
only
legs
hope.
now?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, but I feel like, you know.
And she won't stand close to Ellie.
Because
Every
then
time
she-
someone loses a limb, Ellie's like, Ellie, it's time to shine.
Can I add on to my group therapy with something I literally just remembered?
That's not allowed.
Yeah, do that.
No, we're not allowed to amend.
yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Oh,
Ellie is also holding on to a certain person's secret right now. Eridu's secret,
I know.
Yes, that's true.
which she's very torn about how to handle and who to tell and who not to tell, and how Agner's going to take it if he finds out she knew the whole time or if he finds out now. So that's kind of stressing her out too.
It occurred to me that I didn't do much with Eridu in the last. Well, he was a donkey. Or a horse.
A horse, I thought.
Oh,
Meridu.
Meridu.
That's right. He was married.
Meridu.
Okay, yeah, no. So I did. Yeah, that's right. That explains it all. He is still a Meridu.
Yeah.
I really
Very
wanted to have
easy.
him pick
Turn him into an
somebody.
animal and then he can't interact with anyone.
And this is how Asa runs player characters. NPCs just turns them into animals, and then they don't have to interact with anyone.
It's brilliant.
So as you look down at
Goldfish.
Jaren, he's actually a goldfish.
It's a lot easier to deal with that way.
With a Z on it.
Oh yeah, they hit the Z. Oh,
The Z, we saw the Z. That's right.
The little.
No, the Z that no one has seen except for
Oh.
Ellie, and Ellie isn't going to assign any significance to it.
Dramatic irony.
Yeah, we still don't
Shit.
know.
gone, Asa.
Your sound is bad.
Oh, I turned my thing off. I don't know how that happened. I do know how that
What were
happened.
you saying?
Go ahead and roll initiative again, since I don't think I wrote it down.
Yeah.
I may have, but you know, it doesn't matter. We're at the top of initiative count again.
I'm gonna roll better this time, maybe.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
Leah has an idea for what she wants to do to try to like do the next part of damage control, but we'll see if she even gets to do that.
As a,
Uh,
I will do my best to recap the combat. You had all made your way
Yes.
into what I've been calling the Assassination Square, or essentially the place where we uncovered where the Dwarven assassins had been hiding when they killed Ambassador Taladriel.
Teladris.
Taladris. I get his name wrong every day.
It's okay. I'm always here to correct people about the names, about characters and stuff. That's what I do in this stream.
And I do mean every day I wake up in the
Yeah.
morning and I just say his name wrong. Every single
Every day.
So you like practice it? Oh, that's
Exactly. I
that's
practice
that's
saying it wrong.
dedication.
This is this is what you get. This is the quality of GMing that you get from me, practicing to get names wrong. In that square, you had found about 6 guards, just kind of generally keeping people away from the square. 2 of them were guarding the entrance to the tower where the Dwarven assassins were hiding. 4 of them were just sort of maintaining the square itself. As soon as you uncovered one of them as Jaren, and through his disguise out the window, 2 of the guards that Ellie had noticed were shrouded in
Abjuration magic.
abjuration magic. Thank you. One of them looked at one of the other guards and then got scared and ran away. The other one was unsure but seemed to be making some sort of reaction towards the fact that this guard that he thought was one of his friends was actually someone else the whole time. The 2 guards by the entrance of the tower have just started to react, just reaching for their swords, and then Jaren, of course, being all Jaren-y, gets knocked over by Egner, and then gets his hand severed by Ellie. And the last thing that he did before he went on break was reach into his belt and pull out a dagger. And as he did, you all felt the temperature start to drop.
And one of the other dudes is really freaky.
Right. Also, I believe you had cast Confusion and affected one of the guards with that.
Yeah, a couple of them ran in various directions.
Yeah, so both of the Abjuration shrouded guards are running away in terror or confusion. Jaren passed his save. So he's not under the effects of the confusion. Although with having a hand cut off.
kind of chase him down into an alley or something.
Yeah, he's currently laying on his back, Egner looming over him, Ellie
Missing a hand.
Ellie cruelly cackling about severing limbs, these sorts of things.
Oh.
We're so mean. I know she'd feel so bad about
is.
it, but it's funny. Okay, I'm done.
Oh, I feel like he's
Leah
gonna
is
go
still
by
back
himself.
with the other people, right? Oh, go on.
Yeah, I think she actually hung back a little bit.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
and
it was
she's
just-
staring into the eyes of this one person who's really freaky.
Yeah, it was just me and Agner that got right up in his face.
Mhm.
Oh,
So-
he's just gonna stab the person who took his hand off, though.
If you would all throw your initiatives into the
Into the to what?
group chat on the thing.
On Zoom.
Which
Yeah, that's
chat?
the one. Zoom chat.
Ah.
There we go. Okay. So, Halifax. Eridu starts to gallop forward towards the guards at the front of the tower, and it is Halifax's turn.
Hello, Fax.
Can't exactly leave Meridu to go and handle things all by himself, horse or no horse, especially in horse, because drops to 0 hit points. That disease is going to start eating him again. So, let's go and shoot some lightning at guards. I'm going to just use a 3rd level spell slot. I am going to try and see if I can catch 2 of them in one bolt, but if not, I'll just get one of them.
You could catch 3 of them. in one bolt. You can catch the 2 guards that are making, like, kind of running away, and the 1 guard that was doing all the scaring. The scary stairs. Scare stairs? Scare
Dude.
stairs?
Scare bears. Right.
Scare bears.
Give all 3 of those guys a dex save. Make 'em-
Okay. And, oh, look at that. 1, 3, and a 5. There's no way any of those passed.
DC 17. Are you sure they
Nice.
don't have like plus 12 or something?
They might.
Okay. So that
I'll bet
is
the scary one does.
just 8d6.
8d6? Yeah,
Eight.
just a small number.
Paltry 8d6.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now me crazy. What is the first part of that song? I can't remember. Okay. Let's see. A 4 and a 6. That's 10. Another 4 and a 6. That's another 10. So that's 20. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28 damage
Okay.
to each of them.
Oh, how cute. All right. So yeah, this bolt of lightning it hits the first 2 guards who are running away. Their armor, being made of metal, seems to just like conduct really well. And then it lances off of the second guard and just right into the scary one. And as it does, a piece of his breastplate just blasts off of him, and you can see underneath what looks to be like threads of hay that are almost sewn together, making up the central part of his body. Underneath the armor appears to not.
Is he a literal straw man?
He appears to be a literal straw man.
Sorry.
Wasn't expecting that.
Continue.
Halifax, I think we'll need to whip out a sheet of vellum and some chalk and just quickly make a scribbled note to put down in ink later. Metal conductive ? And leave it at that.
Okay.
Science.
Halifax
I
is
know.
doing science.
As long as
Oh,
it is
wow.
not inductive, that's okay.
But when it's abductive, that's when you really got to worry.
What are you eating, dog?
Is that a
Okay.
general question to the group? Or?
I was legitimately asking my dog what she was eating. I'm sorry.
I know.
Greetings. Thanks for joining Roll for Mischief. We play D&D sometimes. Okay. After that, Jaren, all around you, Egner and Ellie, you sort of feel the temperature reach an uncomfortable level of cold where I don't know how well layered you are, but it is way too cold for this time of the season. And yeah, anywho, that is an unnecessary explanation for how cold it is.
It's
And
just
he's going to now do a
very
thing.
cold.
It was very, very
Alright.
cold. He lashes his blade at the air. And as he does, where did the effects of the blade go? There it is. As he does, the pommel starts to glow, a brilliant blue light. And Egner, you need to make a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's decent, but probably not good enough. Gosh, I really need that feat that helps with that. Okay, so that's 13. I fail.
As you do that, as he does that, you feel the cold start to settle into you, and immediately you feel the need to run, like turn around and run. And so you, on your turn, must spend your Your turn, your whole turn, just turning around and moving as far as you can get in one turn.
That's no fun.
Don't leave me.
Damn. Well, I mean, I obviously don't want to, but shit. Okay.
You might even hear him say, "Fly, you fool!"
Fly, you
And,
fools.
and then he starts to scuttle backward a little bit, trying to get to his feet. And Ellie, you can make an attack of opportunity.
In his prone, so advantage.
Yes.
Melee attack. I think that's plus 10. 25.
To hit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 14 damage. Yeah, magic damage. Plus one magic damage.
Okay. Yeah, you're still poking at him. This time, you're very careful not to slice off a hand.
I really would stop him scuttling away. So.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, you give him a good poking as he's scooting back. Despite that, he still stands up and kind of wavers the knife in like a defensive parrying motion, but he seems like he's getting a little worn down. This is a little more than he bargained for. That makes it the creature that just got its chest piece blown away. It turns its eyes onto Halifax, and you get to make a save throw too.
Yay!
You get to make a DC 11 Wisdom save.
I mean,
If
that shouldn't be too hard.
Why did
I
he
rolled
get?
a 17
No,
to
why?
begin with.
Why did he get the easy one? And I got the hard one, man.
well,
And I get +7 to the saving throw, so that's 24.
and I actually meant it was a DC 13, but yeah, he did get the easy one. Okay.
True.
Yeah, as you look into its face, the eyes start to glow a little bit, and you get a very, obviously this thing is not human, and it's clearly attempting to scare you in some way. But rather than being frightened, you are a little more, curious about it. At least that's
mean-
how I think you would react.
Is it cute?
It looks like a person in metal armor that you can't quite make out their face, and their stomach is made of straw. So, I don't know. What is your interpretation of cute?
Funky.
You said I was curious about it. So
It's seeing that its effects to frighten you have failed. It starts to charge toward you. It's not going to make it all the way there in one turn, though.
okay. Question to the group: is this thing friendly?
Probably trying to hug you.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
As
That's all.
as it charges past the guard that just got lightning bolted, one of them, that guard takes a swing at it with his sword, and he just aims right for the center area where the chest piece is missing, and just cuts it in half. Its top half, falls to the ground. The legs still moving a little bit before they topple over. It rolls over and starts to, climb just on with its hands toward the guard that just chopped it in half, and that would make it Ellie's turn.
Freaky shit.
Okay, so is it the dagger that's done this coal thing? Can I kind of gather that it's?
I don't think you still have the.
No, but in terms of he took it out and then it got cold.
That would seem to have a correlation.
What is it? So he's got metal armor on, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got a breastplate and the helmet. When he was in his disguise, he had a full suit of metal armor, but.
Alright, okay. I think I'm gonna cast heat metal on his breastplate.
Heat metal. Hell yeah.
Okay.
So he takes 2d8 fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
Do I roll it?
Yes, you do.
I mean, so oh, rubbish. 4. 4 fire damage.
Okay.
I don't think I really have much bonuses, so I think I'm just gonna shout that this man is an imposter and like point my blade towards him to try and like get the guards to turn on him as well. I'm gonna shout that who's the guy who like he's come to kill. What's the guy who Oren? Is that the guy
Vitrell?
who?
Oren
Yeah.
Vitrell? Yeah.
Mm.
I'm
Okay.
gonna shout that.
All right.
There's he is, your new noodle.
Smart.
And that will make it the guard's turn. One of them just chopped a scarecrow in half. The other one is still running away because of the rage and confusion that Leah is creating. So the guard who just chopped the scarecrow in half turns toward you all and says, "You all stop. You're all under arrest." And as he starts to speak, the scarecrow like latches onto his ankle and starts to pull him down. Yeah, it is a scarecrow. Sorry, I ruined that. The guard just sort of kicks him off and then brings his sword down and just splits the thing's its head in half, and it finally stops moving.
Hmm.
And then he turns back to the rest of you and his companion. What's the DC for your spell, Alex? Or does confusion only last one turn?
No, it's concentration. And it's 16.
And it's wisdom, right?
Yeah, sorry, wisdom.
Okay, that will pass. Got 18 in total. So he continues to run for the rest of his turn, but then when he sees his own companion kill the fake guard, he stops and looks at you all, and then he turns and runs down the alleyway, screaming for assistance, for reinforcements.
Of course he does.
The fuzz. Cheese it.
And that would make it Agner's turn.
Well, Agner has failed a saving throw recently, and that means that he has to spend his move action to move as far as he can away from Joran, from Emily. Not Ellie, sorry. I fucked up a name. I never do that. Just kidding. So I'm not exactly sure what direction he's gonna go in. Maybe just like straight back from where he went. So like if there's any characters that were hanging back.
The way that the ability is worded is, I, or the caster, picks a direction that's horizontal from me, and you must run in that direction. So
Oh, okay.
You are compelled to turn and run straight backward.
Okay, so he does that for 30 feet. And then once he's back there, he tries to get his bearings, tries to understand what's going on, and he doesn't really do anything that active, but he does decide to focus his energies and do that cool thing where he can create an illusory duplicate of himself. So if it's possible, he's going to think of where he just was next to Ellie and Jaren, and he's going to invoke duplicity and create an illusory duplicate of himself that was standing right where he was standing. So he just runs back 30 feet, and then there's another Agner right there.
All right.
And that's pretty much all he does on his turn. And
Sounds good.
Hopefully he succeeds on the next saving throw or whatever.
Yeah, I gotta check that, make sure it's because it could just be a one-time effect. Nope, that's concentration. All right, cool.
Well, okay then.
Did you roll to check concentration when he took the fire damage?
I did not, but oh, look at that! I rolled a 1.
Oh wow.
So at the end of your turn, that spell's going to drop.
Okay, that's good.
All right. With that, the 2 guards by the door, they've already, began to get up and draw their swords. One of them comes charging into the fray, and by the fray I mean he comes, charging right towards Ellie. The other one is starting to, with one hand he's got his sword drawn, the other hand he starts to move his hands in a way that invokes spell casting. And then
is this something I can see?
Mhm.
Do I counterspell? Do I counterspell?
It's hard to say, Dan.
Have you got many of those slots?
No, but I will. I will use a 4th level slot to use counterspell.
Nice. Nice.
Just as he is about to finish this, you start to see tendrils of black, inky something sort of spread out from his fingertips, and then really quick, Halifax does a semantic movement, and the tendrils are gone, kind of like poof away in a cloud of smoke. The man looks at his hand for a second, and then looks up at you, trying to figure out what just happened, and then he vanishes. And a second later, he is standing right in front of Ellie, and Jaren is no longer lying there. He is laying up against the building where this man was standing a moment earlier.
As I cast the counterspell and see that he's like bamfing off places, I shall give him a stern look, saying, "Don't cast anything else again," and I shall yell out while stamping my staff into the ground, "You shall not cast!"
Ah, yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not giving you it, Drew. I'm not giving you it.
Authoritative.
Everyone else can band it to you. I'm not doing it.
I love it. I love it. I'm cracking up.
And Ellie,
Mm.
while this guard charges towards you, his eyes start to glow red, and I would like you to roll a DC 13 Wisdom save.
Aye, aye, aye.
Oh, I mean, I rolled a 13, so...
But do you have a total of 13 or more?
No, but Saver wins, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
so I get plus 0, but it's 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
So-
pass. You are momentarily unsettled by this guard charging at you with glowing eyes, and then you still yourself, and the eyes stop glowing, and you realize there was nothing to be afraid of. He's just a man with a sword charging at you. It is now Leah's turn.
Yeah, finally.
I've let Ellie go, right?
Yeah, I've had a go.
Oh, okay. Good. Meridu has kind of pulled himself back in midst of his charge, seeing that Jaren and this other soldier have guard have swapped places, and he seems a little unsure of what to do.
I'm desperately trying to get information on the spell I'm trying to cast, and it keeps... Here we go, hang on.
Okay, cool.
I mean, spell I'm trying to cast.
Right.
So who is closest to me?
It
I'm-
might be Egner. I mean, not.
People have just been,
not Envy,
running
though.
around me a bunch. While I stand there like...
Agner or Halifax? Halifax hasn't moved much.
Okay, I meant, enemies.
Halifax.
The closest would be The guard who just switched spots with Jaren.
You cut out there. I didn't actually hear what you said. I'm sorry.
No, the guard who switched spots with Jaren, he'd be the closest.
Okay. What did he do with Jaren? Where is Jaren?
So he was standing by the door, and they just swapped places. So he's now in the middle of the battlefield, facing off against Ellie, and Jaren's now laying on the ground near the door.
Hmm.
I mean, I guess he's not really laying on the ground. He had sort of started to scuttle up and get to his feet, but yeah.
How close am I to Jaren?
Probably about 50 feet.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I guess it's just time to cause some more varying kinds of confusion.
Cause confusion.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can make the guard who is nearest to me freak out as much as I'm freaking out.
Okay, cool.
So I am doing cause fear.
Huh?
And the save is 16.
Okay. He failed. I rolled a 6. And
Freak him out. Freak him out.
I got
Yeah.
a 10 total.
I guess I could actually use this on more than one person. Is there anyone else within 30 feet who is also an enemy?
The one that has been looking at people and scaring them is also an enemy.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, it's still alive?
Oh yeah, that one is dead. There is one that just charged. So from your
Oh,
perspective,
the new guard.
you see another guard, a guard charging at Ellie and a guard standing right in front of her. So in your perspective, they would both be valid targets. However, upon attempting to affect the emotions of the second one, you just feel this sort of hollow space where like you can tend to pick up on people's emotions too,
Mm-hmm.
and you just sort of feel this hollow space where
Does it feel the same as the other scarecrow?
it does.
Oh, fun. Okay, well, I guess I only affect one person then.
You do.
And Whoop. That person is frightened.
Is frightened.
I guess specifically of me, but they
Right.
are.
Yeah, you just Ellie, because she's closest, starts to see him just shuddering. Like he was, you had his sword drawn, he was ready to attack her, and then he just starts to kind of shake and drop his sword slightly. Then his gaze just sort of drifts behind Ellie, and he's looking in just the general direction behind her.
And then I'm also going to yell and point that other one is a straw man. So I don't know what a scarecrow is, but straw man.
Straw man works.
I'm trying to see if there's anything additional I want to add.
Eridu, getting over his mild confusion,
I figured it out.
drops his head and just charges right at Jaren. Being a horse, he's able to make it pretty quick. He charges forward, spins around, and just lays his hoofs right towards Jaren. Jaren ducks, and instead Eridu collides with the door
Oof.
and just busts the tower door off of its hinges.
Add babe.
Now it's Hilfax's turn.
Alex was trying to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to do something as a reaction because I realize now that I could do something as a reaction, but I can wait until there's something for me to react to.
Of course.
Cool.
Well,
Cool.
it's Eridu's turn, so there's probably not a lot to react to there.
Sweet. So, Scarecrow dude, Straw Man, he's still crawling around?
The one's dead.
But there's another one.
Yeah, there's a new one, and it's trying to kill Ellie, I think.
Fair. Huh. Hold on. Let me just read up. Create bonfire is not that great. I was wanted to like combust the straw inside, but create bonfire is just fire on the ground in a spot. I can't like target the
Try to-
straw or anything.
I mean, it's like a 5 by 5 cube of fire. It's a lot of fire. I mean,
It is a lot of
It's a
fire.
lot of fire. I mean, it might combust one or two things. You know.
Yeah, ignites
Also,
flammable
the cantrip
area.
damage it should be pretty decent because you're leveled up enough.
Yeah, it's
Cantrip
3d8.
3d8. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, you know what? Is it right in front of Ellie by now?
Yeah, about that.
Because Bamfy dude went over to Ellie as well, didn't he?
Well, he teleported in front of her. That was a
Yeah.
50-foot difference. This thing's about 20 feet away.
Okay.
Well, it's probably more like 10 feet away because Ellie's ahead of where everyone else is at. I gave the 50-foot distance from Leah.
So, where to create this bonfire? You know what? I'm going to create the bonfire where it's currently stood, and I can just move it.
Okay.
It is a concentration spell, which means the polymorph would go down.
Is
so
true. Is
I
true.
missed that part.
What
Is he polymorphed or is he beast formed? I thought Eridu turned himself into a...
Yeah, Eridu's
thought-
beast formed. No, he beast formed himself
Oh.
into a horse.
I didn't polymorph him.
You had him
Okay.
polymorphed into a bear back when earlier when
Okay.
you guys took him to.
That's
John-
fine then.
John.
I will bonfire the scarecrow. So he needs to make a dex saving throw, DC 17.
And let's see. I have an 8 naturally. What do I have in my bonus for Dex? 1. That's a 9.
Nice.
Sweet.
3d8. 3d8.
3d8 fire damage, and hopefully it's got vulnerability to fire damage.
That'd be sick.
I'll never tell.
He'll never tell.
Okay, so that is 16. It's not a lot, but that's what we've got. 16 fire damage, and everything that is flammable in that 5-foot cube is ignited.
All right,
Damn
you
straight.
light this fire in this 5-foot cube, and you watch as it, like, starting from the feet, starts to jut up and melt away bits of open areas in the suit of armor, and it seems like this scarecrow from about the foot to mid chest has been caught on fire pretty well. Flames jutting out through the holes in the armor. That is to say, it is vulnerable. And where I said I'll never tell, I lied.
However, has this stopped and defeated the thing, or is there now a walking fireman heading towards Ellie?
While on fire, it seems to still be on its way toward Ellie.
Don't worry. I've got this. Don't worry.
Did you solid, Ellie? He's on fire now.
I got this.
Like, why you never kill zombies with fire?
Right.
And they just
Then they're just
Um,
giant walking, flaming flesh eaters. Mhm.
But yes, and then I'll try and shift myself into a position with a bit of cover. In fact, maybe like hide behind the corner of a wall or something where the guards were.
You would.
So like, yeah, let's take up a tactical firing position.
I'm reading a thing, so that's why there's a pause.
Okay.
Okay. With that, it is Jaren's turn. He looks behind him, sees the door is wide open, and there's a horse in front of him. It looks like that horse might be rearing up to kick again. And so, I need to figure out if this is an action or a bonus action. It is a bonus action. Cool. So he swings with his dagger at Eridu, and he just clumsily gives a haphazard swipe. Eridu just whiffs his tail at him, and then he turns, and behind him, this gate opens up momentarily. You can kind of see the dagger glow, the gem on the pommel glowing blue again, and this gate opens with the shimmering blue surrounding, and he steps through it,
Oh, we need to count a spell.
And
Is it
then
a
it-
spell?
closes right after him.
Is it a spell or an effect?
It is a magical effect caused by the weapon. So on that note, it is not actually a spell.
Does it? So it doesn't invite a reaction at all.
Well, it depends on what the trigger is of your ability that you're trying
Right.
to use.
Well, it does say cast Dimension Door from the dagger, so in that wording, I'd give it to you. It's a spell.
Right.
It says cast.
Like
So if you-
Halifax could counter spell.
Or what is the wording for your reaction, Alex?
Oh, never mind. I missed a sentence. It only works if I take damage, and no one has attacked me.
Oh yeah.
So,
But
should
could
be able to-
Halifax
I got nothing.
counter spell that technically?
I
Halifax is
think
currently
so.
away.
I would go for him to counter spell. I
And
feel like
since-
this is. Oh.
Since he is currently away, he is not able to react.
No, that's
Why?
No.
Well, he's like, why do I have to put my son to sleep right now? You guys are gonna give him a hard time.
Oh,
well,
well, no, I'm gonna give you a hard time.
Yeah.
I
you
can't-
could just
Yeah.
wait.
I can't really stall the game out that long while he puts his son
Are
to
you
sleep for 2 minutes. I mean,
Well, let's just use his spell slot for him. What's his highest spell slot?
but that's not fair. It's his spell slot. We can't just
We're
burn through him.
co-opting. We're co-opting Halifax right now.
Yeah.
You're like, if we can code DM, we can also code player.
Yeah. Exactly.
Look,
Counter spell.
I would have my friends do that for me if they.
I
Hey,
see.
All I'm saying is he's got 2 more 3rd level spell slots.
I just think he would do it. He
That's all I'm
would do it.
I think he would.
I mean, he might, but he's not here to say that.
Asa.
Hey, so don't you have something that you need to take care of with your dogs
You're
or
killing me.
something?
I'm sure there was something going on.
You gotta find out what Gertie
I don't
is
know. Your
eating.
dog probably needs you.
Yeah, he always needs me though. Just laying here being a good boy. My other one is chewing avidly on her paws, so she probably needs my attention as well. Oh look,
Yeah.
I see words that I need to read real fast. Yeah. Oh look, look at that. It does smell like updog in here.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that you gotta spend some time and figure out how it smells like updog or why it smells like updog, and you can't do what it is that you're trying to do. Right.
Well, while all that is happening, the scarecrow charging right towards Ellie, that's on fire. It moves even closer to Ellie and swings at her with its sword. It's not flaming sword. That's cockeyed. Would a 14 hit her AC? 15. It's a 15.
Drew says we can use counter spell. I messaged him. I asked him on my phone. Look, counter spell.
Excellent.
I have proof.
Does 15 hit Ellie's AC?
No.
No, it doesn't? Okay. Yeah, you just step back as he swings the sword at you. His eyes glowing red now as flames start to come up his throat and into his helmet. I'd like you to roll with disadvantage a wisdom save. As you are doing that, Jaren, that blue thing opens up behind him and he turns to walk through it, and as he does, he takes 2 steps into the doorway, but not the dimension doorway, just the regular doorway.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I crit failed.
Okay.
Oh,
You are terrified of the giant flaming scarecrow and must spend your entire round running away. That means full movement, running speed, so it should be double your base movement, taking up your movement action and your normal action.
Oh, okay.
As
Two
you
attacks opportunities. Fantastic.
as you are doing that, turning and running away. Those of you who are not Ellie or Agner, because you both have your backs turned or you just can't see, watch as the scarecrow like takes a step forward, clumsily swinging with its the hand that doesn't have a sword, and just not even coming close to where Ellie was standing. It collapses to the ground and falls there, fire still burning between the
Burning
open
really?
spaces in the
Mm.
armor. You did something with the other guard, didn't you, Alex?
Yeah, I made the other guard very afraid.
Right. So he will not take an opportunity because I believe part of the frightened condition is you can't make reactions.
Okay.
So Ellie runs away. Halifax did a thing.
Thank
Yep.
you, Halifax.
You're welcome.
Thank you for doing that.
It's Ellie's turn.
I mean, I run wherever I'm supposed to run.
You run straight out of the square. You take a side alley, and by the time you stop running, you are out of breath and you are a little bit lost. You don't remember exactly what turns you took, but you took several. Just sure there's a flaming, scary monster on your tail. Well, you turn around and don't see it. You also don't see any of your companions.
I guess because. So, do I get my bonus action or not?
Yeah, you can have a bonus action.
Can I have it? Can I activate the? I didn't lose concentration from getting feared, did I? On the heat metal.
I don't know that it automatically ends the concentration, so I'm going to say no.
Okay. Can I just activate that heat metal again? Also, it should have been doing more damage because I'm a higher level. Oh no, it's a spell slot. Never mind.
Mm.
Okay, never mind. I just did it at the base one. Okay, so it does another 2d8 unless he's taken the armor off.
Nope. He's like fiddled with the clasps, trying to get it off, but it's a thing he's doing while he's doing this other stuff, so he's not giving it his full attention.
Okay, so it does another 9 fire damage.
9 more fire damage. Okay.
So-
I've been writing the damage down like I do when I GM at home, which is to say I don't do the whole math. I just add up the amount of damage that they've taken, and then I realize nobody else can see my notes. All right. Also, Halifax should know that the fire spell you used killed the second scarecrow on its turn.
Very effective while you were gone.
Yeah, you're
I
doing all
know,
kinds of
right?
He's
I
killing
feel
it.
like I'm more effective when I'm not here.
It's true. Just like Eridu is more effective when I don't play him. Alright,
He's better as a mare.
Meridu.
Meridu.
It's now the guard's turn. The one who just cut the scarecrow in half. He's walking just toward the group in general. And he says, I recommend all of you put down your weapons. The rest of the guard will be here shortly. You're coming into custody and we'll come to we'll figure this out once Orin Vitrell can be summoned.
I can see that Jaren was trying to escape through the door, right?
Right.
I'm going to respond with, I suggest that you look behind you to the traitor amongst you and apprehend him before he escapes.
Oh, he's under arrest too. And he turns
Yeah.
and points at the tower. You're under arrest.
Maybe you should restrain him. We'll wait.
He's not going far. Once the rest of the guard gets here, we'll get inside that tower.
Hmm.
The mage that is frightened of you, or the character, he is a mage, but I didn't tell you that yet.
Now we know.
He looks at the other guard, he looks at you, and he decides that he's going to take his chances with the guard closer, and holds out his hand. A ball of flame begins to ignite in the palm, and then just launches out. Yep. Crashes straight into the guard that's attempting to arrest you all.
Oh.
Madness.
No, this is Sparta.
Absolute madness. This is Sparta.
You're attacking everyone else.
While he's doing that, he's walking backward away from Leah toward the tower. Ah, dropped a thing. 10, 15, 16, 22, 25 damage to that guy. That's no good. Oh, no, that's all right. There we go. All right. Yeah, that fireball just engulfs that paladin, and he just, you can hear his screams just fill the square as he drops to the ground and starts to roll to put out the flames, but it's just too hot and too fast.
Oh, no.
Within a few seconds, he is nothing but the charred remains of a once loyal paladin.
Wow.
Who was maybe a bit dim.
Yeah.
He's just trying to do his job. He may not have even supposed to been. He wasn't even supposed to be here today.
R.I.P.
Not even supposed to be here today.
All right, that's Agner's turn.
1 week from retirement.
Well,
Right. He used to be an adventurer until he took an arrow to the knee.
yeah. Well, Agner is super overwhelmed because the sounds that have been going down and the
Oh, man.
smells of fire and brimstone and
Burning flesh
blood
and, like, burning hay
flesh
and-
yeah,
Everyone's on
there's-
fire.
Everyone's on
Everything's
fire.
Yeah, it just smells like acrid black
Yeah.
smoke.
It just smells disgusting. A lot of horrible sounds have been going on. A lot of shouting. A lot of saying, "Hey, you're arrested." And Agner is just trying to do his best to put that all out of his mind and focus his mind on trying to find the thread to Jaren.
He probably also would have felt someone rush past him
Mm-hmm.
in down the street in the opposite or the way that he was running originally. But yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check to use your sense to figure out where Jaren's at.
Nat 20.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, you kind of listen in, honing your ears above the sounds of the flames, and you can hear Jaren just muttering under his breath something that sounds like it may be another magical incantation.
mm-hmm.
Not fairly close to that, you hear the clapping of hooves, and the way that the sound is traveling, you can hear it. It's an echo,
Mm-hmm.
so it's you can sense that it's rebounding off of something,
Uh-huh.
which kind of gives you the idea that he's close to the tower or inside of a building.
For sure. Do I have an idea of how far away it is from me?
Yeah, you turn around and ran 30 feet. So it's 60 feet in the opposite direction of where you're at now.
Okay, well, he's got to get there immediately. So what he's going to do is he's going to take his full move action. He's just going to charge like a bull. He's going to do
Okay.
his full move action to move 30 feet. He's going to turn his action into a dash, and he's going to go the 60 feet. So then
Alright.
he's there. And then first thing that he's going to do when he feels like he's up next to Joran is that he's going to use his bonus action to do a shield bash.
Okay.
So that's
In the heat of the moment, you will have no way of knowing that you are rushing past one of the other combatants, the guy who just
well, yeah.
fireball the other guy. So that guy's going to take an attack of opportunity against you.
Bring it.
Does a 20 hit your AC? I know it does.
It does.
That's not a lot of damage. That's 3 points of damage. You feel the blade of a sword just nick into your armor a little bit, maybe cause a slight cut, but not too much.
'Tis but a flesh wound. All right. So opposing athletics, Jaren and I.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. I got 22.
Oh man, I got amazing. That's a total of 2.
Excellent. You fooled me for a second. I was like, dude, no way.
I rolled a 3.
No way. No fucking way. All right.
That's the wrong stat block, but still, it can't be much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 3.
For sure. So Egner just charges in there like a raging fucking bull, and
Jaren like
Bless you.
spins around. For anybody who can see this, spins around in surprise as Agner's charging forward.
Egner just lets out just a guttural, like growling yell that's like straight from the bottom of his stomach. It just goes, "Ah!" and the shield comes out and just whacks him right in the face, and knocks him prone.
All right.
And then, oh,
Oh, go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry, you're gonna do a reaction or something.
I
Like
was in
that.
fact going to do a reaction, but you can finish your turn.
You're gonna let
Your
me
thing.
finish my turn? Okay,
Oh,
because I was gonna do action surge. So if it's a reaction to
oh,
a certain trigger or
yes.
something,
Let me do the reaction, and then yes, of course.
yeah.
I just need to remember what this freaking thing is called. Not knowing spell names. I know them, but I can't think of them.
What does it do?
It is Glyph of Warding. That's it. Now I know.
You can't cast Glyph of Warding in the middle of combat.
No, you can't. But if you have a Glyph of Warding already activated or already cast, and you
Oh,
trigger it, it goes off. And that's what's happening.
okay.
Sure, he always had glyph of
he,
warding.
he had it the whole time, and
He had
it's
Glyph of Warding
just popping off right now. That's all.
No, the way the Glyph of Warding is well when you use it as explosive runes. Um, because you have gone through the doorway
Mm-hmm.
and triggered it, and so it is now going to explode.
Oh,
And you and Eridu are going to, and actually, because
Jaren.
you can't really beat out Jarn, really avoid the explosive rate. It's like a 20-foot radius. Yeah, you all three of you are going to take this. So, I you have to make a dexterity saving throw,
Uh-huh.
and the DC is equal to the casters. The caster is not Jarn, so the DC is. Where's your DC? You suck. Oh, 14.
Mm-hmm. All right, here goes nothing. I failed. I got a 7.
Okay. Eridu did not fail.
Still dexterous as ever, even as a horse.
I also rolled. I also
Nimble.
The
Horse leaps
most
aside.
nimble.
Yeah, Eridu, like just seeing you charge, just trots back a bit. He still is going to take part of it, but he's far enough away that he's not taking the full blast. Jaren, after you smash him to the ground, ooh, he has disadvantage. Okay. You hit him to the ground, and he like does this tumble, and you hear something heavy just boom, 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 as though it's falling downstairs. Then the glyph ignites,
Hmm.
and
Hit me. Just hit me.
I need two more. And one more. Okay, that's 19 acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder. So 19. We're gonna do fire. Fire damage would be dominant tower. We're gonna do 19 cold damage because that seems to fit this particular moment.
Yep. All right.
Also, I need to roll for Jarn because he takes damage falling down the stairs. All right.
Okay. So then Egner comes in,
7. That's 17.
smashes him, hears him falling down some stairs or something,
Mhm.
and then the cold just sets in, and Egner feels it sink right to his bones, and he winces with pain from the unexpected deep freeze kind of situation. But he shakes it off, and with another roar, he takes Talon's blade in both hands. Oh! And with his action surge, he stabs Talon's blade into the ground, and he
Ooh.
activates its magic to
Yeah, buddy.
do the Hallow spell. And this will completely encompass the tower, pretty much everything in a 60-foot radius. He is infusing with this energy, and he is going to choose the option called extra dimensional interference. So, especially Jaren, affected creatures can't move or travel using teleportation or by extra dimensional or interplanar means. It's the same
Ooh.
thing that he did in the in Iron Fist Hold,
Cool. All right.
and that's the
Uh,
end of his turn. Yeah.
awesome. Upon doing that, Agner is assaulted with all kinds of shouts and noises. He hears echoing voice like calls coming from the bottom of the stairs, and it's it's just a lot of cursing and confusion. But it is not in common. It's in Elven or a variation of Elven. Does Agner know that? No
I
version of Elven.
Dude, I don't think so. I really don't think he's got Elven. He's more like pretty sure he can speak Dwarven. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, no Elven.
Okay, so yeah, you can definitely understand that these are people that aren't happy. But aside from that,
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what they're saying. Uh, who's after Agner? Oh, well, technically the guy who went before Agner, but so
Oh yeah,
now it's
you're right back.
Leah and Agner and Eridu's turn.
Oh,
So yeah, go ahead and Eridu's actually going to turn back into a normal person, and then using his staff, he's gonna keep himself propped up. He seems to be walking all right, a little bit of a limp, but otherwise he seems to be in better shape than he was when you guys got to the clearing with John. And he's gonna walk up and just rest his staff on Agner's back, so he's now standing inside of the building as well. Agner, you feel something touch you, and then you start to feel yourself being rejuvenated. Uh,
you'll have to tell him when he comes back.
oh, did Kyle leave? I didn't see that. I'm gonna heal Kyle, so when he gets back, I'll see how much he needs me healed for. But yeah, what is Leah doing?
So is Jarn out of sight now? Like he's fallen down some stairs?
Yeah, he's in the tower, out of sight.
Okay, so she has no way of seeing what that situation is like. But there's still one guy heading in that direction who has just set somebody on fire, correct?
Right, and he's got an eye on you, and he's slowly backing away from you.
Oh yeah, because I'm scary.
So scary.
So scary. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he's bad. He seems bad. He just incinerated a guy just trying to do his job.
Yeah, definitely not a good dude.
Yeah. So I'm going to do what equates to mechanically an Eldritch Blast on him.
Okay.
And then I have to remember how to do that.
It is, I believe, 2 or 3 attacks. How many Eldritch Blasts do they get at 11th level?
I believe it's 3.
I have 3.
To start with.
Yeah. So you make 3 separate attack rolls, magical attack rolls. So just probably your normal bonus, and then you roll the d10 plus whatever.
Okay, the first one's 27.
Hit.
Second one's 16.
Yep,
Third one's 9.
that will miss.
I for full disclosure, the third one I rolled a 1.
Oh, okay, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I like to make things happen.
Okay, and the damage is. Oh, I rolled the wrong die. Hang on.
All right.
Oh, where is that? I don't even know where it is. I'll just. 9.
Seems like fun.
17.
Okay, 17 damage. So your first 2 Eldritch Blasts just like slam into his chest. He's just knocked back a bit with the force of it. And the third one, even though well, I don't know if yours has a visual effect or not. If it does, let me know. Or if it's just like.
I think it's all like
Mind
my version of
blast.
It's like mind bullets.
Mind
Yeah.
bullets.
Mind bullets.
That's telekinesis, Kyle. So
I know, dude.
he drops his sword and just like holds his hand in this, like he's grabbing something, and you
Uh-huh.
can kind of see this shimmer in the air, and like he's sort of tussling and concentrating hard on this thing, and then he thrusts it out, and it slams into the ground, cracking the pavement. And then as it does, the stone starts to shift and pull itself up out of the ground, making
That's
a sort of humanoid-esque looking shape. Uh, and he just conjured an elemental.
What?
Yeah, I was letting her crit, let him do a spell for free. Because that's it, like,
Oh, wow. Okay.
so
thanks.
Wow.
you're welcome. This shape, it's probably about 5 feet tall. Looks to be made up of the flagstones of the square itself. It starts to lumber towards you. Its big ball-like fist just swinging wildly. But it is not going to make it to you in one go
Okay.
because you haven't moved much, and he's getting closer to the tower. That would make it Halifax's turn.
Would. It would indeed.
Also, I was doing a thing with Agner, wasn't I?
Were you? Egner
Yeah,
finished
you were
his
healing
turn.
Egner. You didn't tell him.
I was what? Healing him? Oh, yes.
Healing him.
Eridu came behind you and touched you with a staff and was going to heal you. I don't know how bad off you are, but I was going to throw some healing.
Wow. So is Meridu holding the staff in its like mouth, like
No, he
turned
sideways?
he turned back into normal
turned-
Eridu.
Okay, I see. Well, hey, thanks, Eridu, who is no longer Meridu.
Yeah, of course.
How much healing?
That's what I'm finding out now.
How much healing?
How bad off are you?
Not so bad. I'm like 21 down.
Okay.
22,
So like a
22
first level
maybe.
would be just fine.
That'd be fine.
Okay. So that would be 10 hit points.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eridu. You're the best.
What can I say? And then he starts to sing. Okay. That makes it Halifax's turn.
So,
A needle pulling thread.
tea.
I can't keep doing this.
Drink with jam and bread. Yeah, jam and bread. Wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. This is why we are still in this episode, and it could be one episode shorter or one session shorter, but it's probably not going to be. All right, go Halifax, go.
Concern. No, I think I want to try and blanket as many targets as possible because we've got what 3.
As of right now, 2, because Jarn is out of sight in the tower. You have the last guy who is like moving away from Leah, and then you have the giant earth elemental he cast. Well, not giant; it's like kind of short, actually.
You know, abandon the idea that I had and slow things right down again because I'm changing tactic. Earth elemental. Can I use earth elemental? I mean, let's try lightning bolt and just see if it'll work. I mean, strictly speaking, it shouldn't, because it's a natural ground. But yeah, I'm gonna use the 3rd level spell slot, cast lightning bolt. Give me a dex saving throw.
All right. That would be a 11.
Sweet 8d6.
All right. Your blast hits it, blasting away bits and pieces of flagstone. It doesn't seem to have any more effect than it normally would.
Oh, but it still seems to affect it. That's
Is
good.
it just lightning damage? It's not a lightning.
It is just lightning damage. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just a normal. It doesn't seem to have any effect in one way or the other.
Yeah, this isn't Pokemon, dude. It's it's like
I was thinking more about actual science. Okay.
it's not. It's super effective. It's not as effective.
27. That seems awfully familiar. Wasn't it 27 or 28 last time?
To hit or for damage?
for damage?
I have no idea, but is it 27 this time?
Yeah, it's 27 this time.
Is this a single target spell?
It is a line, so
You
in
were gonna
theory,
hit
it goes
the other guy
past
too.
him.
Yeah, it just like kind of washes over him and also hits his conjurer, if you will. So that's 27 damage to that guy. No, I didn't roll my save for that guy yet.
Nope.
That guy goes ahead and just seeing that lightning bolt coming at him, he throws up a real quick hand signal, and this barrier just appears in front of him. The lightning bolt hits that barrier and kind of crackles off to either side, but has no effect on him whatsoever.
Nice.
I critically successed that save, and so I gave him no damage for the spell.
Well, there you go.
That's what I get for my critical successes. Welcome to Roll for Mischief, where Asa cannot say words, even if it's on purpose. All right. And with that, is Halifax going to do anything else? Like try to get into the tower or anything like that?
Who else is still outside?
Everyone but Eridu and Agner.
Is just Eridu and Agner in there?
You can just see Eridu within the entranceway of the tower. You can also start to hear a bit of commotion coming from the streets outside the square, and Ellie is nowhere to be seen as well. You last saw her running down the street in the opposite direction.
Okay. In that case, I am going to put myself in the doorway to the tower,
Okay.
but stay facing outward toward the Earth Elemental. Nothing is getting past me.
All right.
You shall not pass or cast or something.
It is going to take you two turns to get all the way to the tower at normal movement.
That's fine.
About 50 feet from you. Okay. That would make it Ellie's turn.
Okay, so how lost am I?
If you stop and just look around for a minute, you reckon like you're not familiar with this territory at all, but then you see a flash of light come from one of the one direction, and you kind of turn around and realize it's back from the way you came.
Okay. I am going to cast haste on myself,
Nice.
which drops the heat metal.
Okay.
And I'm gonna then use the haste action to dash back 60 feet.
Okay, so you dash back out of this alleyway into the street. You know, you've seen that flash of light. You look down in the direction that it came from, just as the lightning bolt that Halifax casts dissipates. But then you can hear sounds coming from behind you. Casting a quick glance over your shoulder, there are people moving, like coming. Some people coming down this road, like maybe 5 people, because you're on a main street road now. But you can see larger crowds going down a road parallel with the square itself, the assassination square. And there's just a large bustle of people moving through the city, and it seems to be a lot of excitement and to do, and they're all kind of heading in one direction, but we can't really tell what's going on. But there are people headed towards the square itself, and they're coming at a bit of a run.
Okay, like commoners.
Yeah, like commoners and shopkeepers, and there are some guards mixed in, but it's more they seem more intent on trying to calm the crowds than actually coming toward you guys.
Can
That's what you
I?
do as you continue to run.
Oh, this might be a really bad idea. What's that? I cannot remember what his name is. You know when it was written in the sky, the
Akron lives.
Akron lives.
Oh,
I am gonna scream Akron lives and throw a hand like fist in the air as I run past them, like to try and like, the rebellion.
Incite the rebellion.
Yeah, like kind
Interesting.
of like this is the rebellion thing, and then I'm just gonna get out of there because there are guards there. So
Okay.
Speaking of getting out of there, I think you should be able to use your move action as well to get the additional 30 feet because you used
yeah,
the
so
haste to.
well, I had to use my
Yeah.
action to cast haste,
Oh yeah.
and the
And then
haste
you
action.
dash, which is 30, and then you use your move. So it's okay. So it's only a total of 60. Nice.
Does haste
Nice.
only
Nice.
give you an additional action?
Yeah. It also gives you a bonus to
haste.
AC.
Oh, okay. I couldn't
Um,
remember if it gave you an additional bonus action and move action as well.
I feel like it should give you more movement.
Oh
than
wait,
mine.
but it doubles your speed as well.
Ah.
Oh, hold on. So
You
if
sure?
you use yeah, is I was reading the text just now. Your speed's
Oh
doubled
yeah, no, you're
plus
right.
2
It
bonus
is.
AC. So
Oh.
you should be able to get 120
Yep.
feet.
Okay, I might not dash then. I might run the 60 feet as my actual movement.
Yeah, that'll put you
Good.
back into the square itself.
Yeah.
You're probably about 40 feet from the tower. You could
Although-
get up to the conjuring guy within time to make another attack.
But you can only
or
use
you
that
could-
additional action for certain things.
Yeah. So actually,
Yeah.
maybe if I do the dash, can I like skid past Halifax and into the tower?
Right, yeah, you can get right into the tower. Right,
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
push
then.
I mean,
You out of the
I would
way.
say no one's getting past me.
I
But,
could get
uh,
past Halifax. I have no.
Ooh.
Halifax is marching towards that door, going, "No one's getting past me!" And all of a sudden, Ellie just zoom. What up?
You what? Yeah. Okay, that's what I do.
All right.
So is that a good time for a break?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just say within the next few moments, this combat encounter can be wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that just with Halifax and Ellie or Aaliyah's great capabilities, they can handle this one guy. So we're gonna take a break. When we get back, I'm gonna have Halifax and Leah tell us how they finished this one dude and his elemental, and then we'll tackle the tower.
Tackle the tower, dude.
Yeah.
Things are getting interesting. There's a bunch of pissed off elves down here. That's what Egner's gonna say first thing when we get back. All
When
right.
Speedy McEllie shows up.
Like the Flash.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. We appreciate you.